All right, let's dive into an idea that's, well, it's powerful and maybe a little uncomfortable. It's the idea that the life you really want is tied directly to the emotional stuff you'd probably rather avoid. Just let that sink in for a second. The life you're looking for is on the other side of the pain you don't want to feel. This basically flips the script on us. It says growth isn't about dodging hurt, it's about actually moving through it. It's a huge idea, and we're going to unpack it together. So, what happens when we ignore this? What's the actual cost of sidestepping our pain? Well, we end up in what this is called a psychological black hole. See, refusing to heal, it isn't a neutral choice. It subconsciously puts you on a path. You either end up on this road of desperation, where you're constantly trying to fill some kind of void, or you get to be on the path of inspiration, which is all about living with purpose and being your authentic self. And this is exactly what the psychological black hole is. Think of it like a real black hole. It has a gravitational pull. These unhealed wounds have weight. They subconsciously drag our choices, our habits, our relationships right into their orbit. And we end up repeating the same patterns over and over, without even knowing why. So, what does this actually look like? Well, it's that endless search for love and validation from other people. It's changing who you are, wearing different masks just to get someone to like you. And the truly tragic part? You can get all the approval in the world, and it's never, ever enough. You still feel needy, insecure, and ultimately pretty alone. Now, when we're faced with this kind of pain, we naturally want to fix it. But a lot of the most common ways we try to cope are, well, they're just illusions. They feel like we're doing something, but they don't actually get to the root of the wound. Let's look at a few of these. First up, and this one's huge, forced positivity. You know the vibe, right? Good vibes only, just be happy. And look, optimism is great, but you can't just paper over deep pain with a smiley face. Real healing means you have to actually acknowledge the hurt, not just pretend it's not there. The second illusion, people pleasing. This is when we think, hey, if I can just be the perfect friend or partner or employee, then I'll get the love I'm missing and the pain will finally stop. But you're trying to solve an inside problem with an outside solution. You can't fix an internal wound with someone else's approval. It just doesn't work that way. And finally, there's perfectionism, the belief that if I can control everything, if I never mess up, if I always say the right thing, then I'll be safe. But that's just another way of avoiding the real issue. You're spending all your energy building this suit of armor instead of actually healing the wound it's supposed to be protected.
Okay, so if those are the illusions, what's real? How do we actually do this work? Well, it boils down to a pretty clear 4-step process. And the key here is that it's a journey inward, toward the pain, not outward, looking for a distraction.
So here's the path. First, you have to stop running and just turn toward it. Second, you have to let it breathe. That means allowing yourself to actually feel it without judging yourself for it. Third, and this is so important, you decouple it from shame. Feeling pain doesn't mean you're broken. And finally, you hold it in love. You offer yourself real compassion. And when you really commit to this journey inward, something pretty incredible starts to happen. You actually begin to shift from a life that's built on desperation to one that's built on real, genuine inspiration. I mean, just look at the contrast. The life of desperation is that constant hunt for validation, feeling insecure, always compromising who you are. But the life of inspiration, that's when you find security inside yourself. You stop compromising and start living as your true self, and your actions start coming from a place of purpose, not a place of neediness. And that's really the big takeaway here. This process isn't some magic wand that makes the scars disappear. It does something way more powerful than that. It completely transforms your relationship with your pain so that it just doesn't have that gravitational pull on your life anymore. So I'll just leave you with this to think about. Healing isn't about taking one giant leap. It's about a series of small, brave steps. So what's one tiny, manageable step you can take today to just turn toward what you feel, even for just a moment?